Welcome to the Introduction to Logic. This course will basically take you through the introductory ideas of how we as humans think, how we construct what we call arguments, which are basically how we prove a point, a conclusion we're trying to prove. And so that's basically what this course is all about. My name is Tim McKenzie, and I will be your instructor this semester, by the way. Before we get too far along, one of the things I want to note is I actually was not originally going to be teaching this course this semester. I have taught logic online before. I have taught online at other schools, but due to an issue that came up, I actually took over this course and found out I was going to teach it at Christmas, or right before Christmas. And so I've been trying to sort of work and revise and figure out what exactly I wanted to do and how I wanted to teach the material. But one of the things I'll note is that the previous instructor, who will again teach it as well as probably will work with me if I have any questions. His name is Marty Morris, or his name is Marty Morris. And so some of the material as you go through will have been created and written by Marty instead of myself. And so it's just sort of one of the things I want you to kind of be aware of is there might be some what we might call just consistency or synchronization between units that may be a little off, mainly because we have two main writers and creators of this course, and I will be your instructor. If you have questions, you should of course contact me, Tim McKenzie, but I'm telling you that more to give you a little bit of a heads up. Now, a few things that always come up is, the first thing is people oftentimes ask me, I've never taken an online course, they'll say, how is it that I succeed? What do I need to do? And the answer is you need to do what you need to do in any course, and that's be prepared and work. But one of the things that makes an online course unique and difficult is that an online course does not have the benefit of meeting in the classroom. Now that's positive for some of you because you have lives and you have things going on, and it's difficult for you to schedule, set aside a specific amount of time on every day because your calendar or schedule changes. But one of the things is, don't let that fool you into thinking you don't have to work every week, or that you shouldn't set aside some time every week even as your schedule changes. If you do not, you will probably not do well. The other thing is that within a classroom class, if you get confused, you can simply raise your hand, or I'm there to remind you of deadlines. Whereas here, you have to be the one who knows what the deadlines are. You have to be the one who's on top of that material. And you need to be able to get that information. If you have questions, you need to email me. But one of the problems with that is that, if you're not comfortable, if you're not willing to step up and ask me the question, then you will face some problems. So that is sort of the one thing I say is don't be afraid to email and ask me. If you do email me, I usually try to respond within 24 hours. Sometimes I'll go 48 hours if I'm out of town or busy or have something going on. But for the most part, I try to respond within 24 hours or 48. If I have not responded to you within 48 hours of when you sent the email, go ahead and send me another email and just say, hey, I never got a response. The reason for that is that occasionally I will read all the emails and then I won't actually respond. I think I did, but I didn't. And I'm going to go ahead and admit that right up front that, I don't know that happens more than every maybe 15 or 20 emails, but it does happen, and that's largely because I get a lot of emails and sometimes I think I've responded and I haven't. And so please don't hesitate to email me if you've not heard from me within 48 hours. If you're really nervous, you can email me again within 24. It may not get me to answer any quicker, but if it makes you feel better, that's okay. Now, as far as the format for this course, it's modular in nature. That means that if you've taken a course online before, you've probably experienced this. But the idea is that each unit, we break it up into what we call modules. And these are sort of just units where we cover a certain topic, certain material, certain chapter in the book. And there will be a quiz, there will be I believe, a discussion board, and there will also be, homework and other things that need to be done with each of those. Each of those modules, there's also a project in this course, and that will be one other module. But as far as the modules go, you need to work your way through them. There will be a checklist, and I'll put a little video at the beginning of each one. But then you need to go through the material and complete it by the deadline. Most of the modules are 2 weeks, although I'd say 4 of them, I think 4 of them are 1 week in length and 6 of them are 2 weeks in length. And so you need to kind of keep an idea that when you start a module, you have a week to do it or 2 weeks to do it. If it's a 1 week module, that means the material will be coming at you a little bit quicker, and you need to be aware of that. Now, the first module is a 1 week module, and all the modules will do at 8 p.m. on Mondays. Now, this first one is an exception because Monday, the first Monday of this course, after, of course, the Monday the class starts, but the first the first deadline, Monday, I believe it's the 20th of January, is all actually Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, and so will not have anything due that day. It will be due Tuesday instead. But other than that, everything will be due at 8 p.m. on Mondays, and so please do not, keep in mind, that's always your deadline. Don't wait till the last minute to start your work because you may not be able to get it done. Now, one of the things with logic is that the exams and everything are, a lot of times they're logic problems. It's how do I find the conclusion? How do I find what type of argument? What type of deductive argument? Is this an inductive argument? How do I determine the type? How do I do a truth table, etc.? And so one of the things to keep in mind is that as you do this course, that there will be homework, basically, that you need to do from the book or from other sources, and then you will be asked to certify whether or not you did it. The first question will be just simply a question of, did you do the homework or not? If you say yes, you get 10 points, and then you will also be asked a second question of, what did you like, dislike, etc., and that'll be another 10 points. That's a small essay. You can write 1 or 2 sentences. You can write 10, whatever you feel is appropriate. But the case is if you answer no on that first question, you still will get 10 points just for answering honestly. But you won't get the second 10 points because you won't have anything to tell me about what you liked or disliked or how you thought the lessons went. Now, with all that said, if you don't do the lesson and you don't watch the video and you don't read anything and you just take the exams and you say you did everything, that's fine, but the reality is that if you don't do the homework, you will probably not do very well on the exams, the module tests. So you really do need to do the homework, and you need to spend the time and check your work and ask questions if you have problems. Logic can be very difficult, and one of the best ways to get better at it is just to do more problems. And so, one of the things I always tell people is don't be afraid to do the homework and do the homework. Take the time, start early, work on the homework, and when you feel like you've got the homework down, then go take the quiz or go take the test. But the key is make sure to do the homework. That will be very important. It can, and don't sit down and go, oh, well, everything's due Monday, so I'll start Monday afternoon. If you start the homework Monday afternoon and you're facing a deadline and the stuff is confusing you, you will not do well because you will get so frustrated and flustered, and sometimes logic is best learned by sitting down and working a couple hours a day and just repeating the problems until finally it flips a switch and it clicks, and that's something to keep in mind. Alright, as always, I wish you luck, and if you have questions, do not be afraid to email me. That is the best way to get an answer to a question, is to ask.